Have you ever been looking at the specs for a new car and your eyes just kind of glaze over when you see the words torque and horsepower? Yeah, you're not alone. So today, we're going to clear all of that up. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which of those numbers really matters for the way you drive.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with the big question, right? When you put your foot down on that accelerator, what are you actually feeling? Is it the brute force of torque, or is it the high-speed rush of horsepower? We're going to figure out which one matters more for you.
All right, first up, let's talk about torque. This is the star of the show right when you're starting from a complete standstill. It's that instant, raw power that you can literally feel in your gut.
So what is it, technically? Well, torque is just the engine's twisting force. The best way to think about it is like you're trying to open a really stubborn pickle jar. That twisting effort you're putting in, that's torque. Inside an engine, it's the rotational force that gets the wheels to start turning, and we measure it in Newton meters.
But how does that actually feel when you're on the road? You know that awesome sensation of being pushed back into your seat when the light turns green and you take off? That is all torque. It's what gives a big truck the muscle it needs to tow a heavy trailer, or what makes climbing a super steep hill feel like it's no big deal. It's the engine's grunt work, plain and simple. Here's the easiest way to lock this into your brain. Just think of torque as a weightlifter. It's all about pure, raw strength in one single powerful move, the ability to lift something incredibly heavy right off the floor. That initial massive effort, that is torque. So if torque is that big initial shove, then what in the world is horsepower? Well, it's all about what you do with that strength and, more importantly, how fast you can do it. See, unlike torque, which is a raw force, horsepower is a rate. It's basically a calculation of how quickly the engine can get its work done. And here's the key thing. It's not some totally separate force. It's a direct result of how fast the engine can deliver its torque. It's all about performance over time. So in the real world, horsepower is what you feel out on the highway. It's the power that lets you surge from, say, 80 to 120 kilometers per hour to get past another car. It's what ultimately decides a car's top speed. So while torque gets you moving, horsepower is what keeps you flying. So let's go back to our analogy. If torque is our weightlifter, then horsepower is our sprinter. It's not about one single massive lift. It's about applying power and speed over and over again across a distance. It's speed and endurance, all rolled into one. Now, you might be thinking that these two are competing against each other, but the truth is they're an inseparable team. They are completely, fundamentally, even mathematically linked. You literally can't have one without the other. I mean, this quote right here says it all, doesn't it? Torque is the magic ingredient. Horsepower is just the recipe telling you how fast you're using that ingredient. Torque is the foundation of all the power your engine makes. And here's the proof. Now don't worry, there won't be a test. Just look at the relationship here. Horsepower is literally calculated using torque and engine speed, or RPMs. That's just revolutions per minute. So if your torque is 0, guess what? Your horsepower is 0. The faster your engine can spin while still making good torque, the more horsepower it's going to produce. Okay, let's boil it all down in a really simple side-by-side comparison. Torque is that raw twisting force. It answers the question, how strong is it? It's what gets you moving. Horsepower, on the other hand, is the rate of work. It answers the question, how fast can it work? And that's what keeps you moving fast. Simple as that. So how does this whole dynamic play out in cars you actually see on the road every day? Well, the absolute classic example is to compare a diesel engine with a petrol sports car engine. Okay, so a diesel engine, like what you find in a big truck, produces this huge amount of torque at really low engine speeds. That's why it feels so powerful and just effortless when it's pulling away from a stoplight, even if it's hauling something heavy. But a petrol sports car, it makes its real power at super high RPMs. You have to rev it way up to feel that speed, to get that thrilling top-end rush. They're two totally different feelings, all born from the same basic principles. And that brings us all the way back to our original question, which one matters more? And the real answer is, it totally depends on you. It depends on what you actually need from your car. Let's break it down. Just ask yourself, is most of your driving in the city, commuting in traffic, or maybe hauling stuff around? If the answer is yes, then what you're really looking for is a car with high torque at low RPMs. But if you live for track days or you just love that feeling of high-speed acceleration on an open road, then your goal is high horsepower.
It's really all about matching the engine's personality to your driving style.
So there you have it. Torque is the shove that gets you going, and horsepower is the sprint that keeps you going fast. Now, the next time you get behind the wheel, pay attention. You'll know exactly what you're feeling.